This is a wake-up call for you. If you're seeing this message, this tarot video, this is not for the faint-hearted. This is only for brave-hearted people who want to accept the truth and want them to be realigned with their true purpose, with their true destiny. This video, I am not making this if you're looking for something more entertainment, something more wish fulfillment, love, future spouse, etc. Skip it. I don't want you to see this video. The purpose behind me making this video is to help someone, to realign someone with their true destiny. And if I can only help 10 people to do that, I'll be happy to do so. So this is something special. This is going to be your raw, unfiltered, unedited truth coming straight out of me. I'm not going to do any bullshit, no sweet words. I'm going to give you your truth in the simplest words possible. Hi, this is Tarot by Rere. I make insane tarot videos twice a week. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe. You're missing out on some crazy channeled energies. If you're a returning viewer and you've already not done so, what are you waiting for? And if you're someone who has been with me throughout my YouTube history, I thank you with my folded hands. Today, as you can see, I have 3 piles in front of you. Side note for today's 3 piles, it is possible that these 3 cards that you see in front of you might be a little bit scary, a little bit daunting, as oftentimes the truth is. But don't go by the face value. Choose any one card, any one pile that calls you the most intuitively. I'm gonna show the piles to you right away. This is pile number 1. Just choose any one out of these 3 intuitively. The image that calls you the most should be the one that you choose. This was pile number 1. This is pile number 2. And this is pile number 3. Don't go by face value. Maybe pause the video, freeze the screen. Just choose one energy, one image that calls you the most intuitively. And now I'll meet you in your segment. Hi, now this is for pile number 1. If you chose this, this is your segment. Like I said in the beginning also, this is an insane video. The message is going to be tough at times, challenging. It is possible you might even end up crying for the most part of it or a little part of it, because this is going to, like, this message, this entire video, this entire segment is going to challenge you consciously and unconsciously. Like, this will definitely transform you in a way, like it will have long lasting impact on your reality. So sit through the whole video, watch the entire thing once or twice or whatever, but don't miss it. Don't skip even a second. So before I start, make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. That really helps me, and I'm taking a lot of efforts out for this. To claim the energy, just drop a few 111s. Let's start right away. So the first card for you is 7 of Cups, which is interesting. The first message that I'm getting very vividly for this pile number 1, is that there are multiple versions within you. I think right now what's happening is that you are being torn apart from within. I think you have this strange, faint idea within you that I am not one person. I am multiple people. Like in the last coming few days, in the few months, you might have constantly felt that I have to put a few faces. Like I'm not able to be truthful to myself, obviously, firstly, but I'm not truthful to anyone else around me as well. Like I have to put faces for my friends, a different face for my family, different face for my acquaintances, lovers, or whatever. But with the 7 of Cups, there is a deep estrangement, a deep detachment with the person that you have become. Because with the 7 of Cups, it looks like you have I think you are a wild creature. You're born in wilderness. You have a crazy sense of understanding. I think you have never felt like one person in your lifetime. I think you've always felt like I am fragments, pieces collected together as a person. With the 7 of Cups, as you can see in this card also, there are 7 different cups, different varieties of cups put on the shelf. And I think you look at yourself as a very different person than what you already are right now. I think there is this sort of sadness of what you have become, and I think there's almost this sort of this rigid fear that you have, like since the last couple of months, that what if I end up becoming into a version of myself that I would hate, that I would abhor, that I would not want to be in? What if I end up getting stuck in a skin, or in what if just imagine yourself wearing a very uncomfortable dress. I think, just imagine yourself all sweaty and all watery. Like, if you're wearing an uncomfortable dress, you'll want to throw it the first moment you get back your home. So I think your strangest fear right now is, what if I become a person who, and what if I inhabit the skin of a person who is not true to myself, who I don't want to be, and I have to inhabit the skin all the time, and I have to live uncomfortably. I have to live in pure pain, pure agony, pure discomfort. And I think this is something that is tearing you apart. This is something that is trickling your bones. This is snapping within your soul. So that is the first thing. I'm gonna do a lot of intermingling here. Like, I'll keep on taking out individual cards, but I'll also mix them all together. Today, I'm also gonna do something special. I'll take out some charms. Charms is a different sort of divination, which you'll understand in a while. But I'm gonna do a lot of things. So the second card for you is Three of Swords. Three of Swords to me is a funeral. I think you are mourning. You are in a period of mourning right now. And let me tell you, I want to tell you the truth in the truest form possible. But what I feel is that you are breaking your own heart. The biggest heartbreak that you are holding within yourself is being caused by you. The sort of pain that you carry within you from other people, the words and the actions of other people, is because you give so much power, action, and importance to what others perceive of you, what others think of you. Like I said in the Seven of Cups also, you somehow feel the need to please. You somehow feel the need to entertain. You somehow feel the need to be loved. We all want to be accepted. That is true. Acceptance is something that's very human. The craving for acceptance is human. But you cannot keep on chasing acceptance on the expense of losing your true identity, which is exactly what's happening. With the Three of Swords, there is a funeral within you, where you are mourning your own self. It looks like you are realizing or understanding that slowly, gradually, what if I end up losing the truest essence within me, the truest version of me, the person that I always was, and the charm that I always carried, and the person that I was sort of born with, the spirit that is so incandescently me. What if that is being killed, or that has already been killed? So with the Three of Swords, I think you are breaking your own heart. With this card, the biggest guidance right now that your universe or your angels want to give you is that you should not please. You should not entertain. You should not put on a happy smile, a happy face, when you are so internally unhappy with a lot of things that are unfolding around you. Because I think you are someone who is a sensitive soul. I told you this in the beginning also. You are someone who is wild. You're born in wilderness. But you're also someone who is very sensitive. Like, it's almost like a contradiction, like being sensitive and being in the wild. Because if you're in the wild, like a metaphor, you're someone who will, like a wild animal. You're going to destroy, you're going to devour, you're going to have these this sense of killing and getting whatever you want to get. But you're also sensitive. So what I'm trying to say is that there is a contrast within you. It's just imagine, like there's a party happening within your soul, and all the different versions of you have come there, and they're all fighting within themselves. And I think what's happening right now is you can hear that fighting. You can sense yourself fighting with all your different versions. You can sense that there are some versions of me within myself that are not good for me, and that need to be killed or destroyed. But you cannot help but feel, what if in the process of this internal conflict I end up being torn apart altogether? I end up being exhausted, worn out altogether. So with the Three of Swords and Seven of Cups, I think these two cards are giving me this energy that you are, like the sort of sensitivity that you carry right now, that is your biggest poison. Sensitivity in the sense is that you take things to your heart. You are creating a lot of emotional chaos or thunder within your own self, because you're too scared to confront the truth. You're too scared to face the truth. You're too scared to face the music. But since I told you in the beginning, you are a wild person. You are a wild creature. And in the wild, there are no rules. In the wilderness, there's only hunters and the victims. There's only preys and predators. So either you hunt or you get hunted. You kill or you get killed. And now is not the time for you to be sacrificed. You have been sacrificed your whole life. You have been compromised your whole life. Aren't you tired? Aren't you sick? Aren't you scared? Haven't you already given up on this constant idea of being the better person? Aren't you so tired of constantly being the person who is giving the happiness all the time, who is always saying, oh, it's fine, I'm going to ignore this. Oh, it's fine, I'm going to avoid this. Oh, it's fine, I'm going to overlook this. Why are you overlooking such obvious signs in front of you just because you're too scared of loss? When I say loss, it could be a loss of a friend, loss of a situation, loss of a job. But the obvious signs are right in front of you. But why has a wild creature been domesticated beyond beyond identity? Just think about a lion, like a lion, a majestic animal, the king of the forest, and think about a lion in a circus. What a joke! What a pity sight! What a sad sight to look at the king of the nature, the king of the forest, turned out to be a cheap trickster for a few laughs. That's what's happening within you. I'm sorry to say this. I know this metaphor might sound rude, but you are a lion, but you have been domesticated beyond identity, beyond you actually realizing who you are. Like sometimes you might even look in the mirror, or you might look within yourself, and you might feel as if I have lost sight of my own self. Who have I become? What have I lost? Who have I turned into? Who is this person who is living within me? And who is the soul that I don't recognize anymore? That's intense. That's intense. I'm sorry. Third card is Nine of Cups for you. So like I said, the Nine of Cups in general in tarot is a great energy. It is a person who is, Nine of Cups usually is an energy that is self-fulfilling, self-effacing, self-sufficient. So I think as a person, you are self-reliant. You have all the resources, all the potential on your fingertips. But the only situation right now is, like, the only thing that's happening right now is that you have forgotten how to use those resources. Just imagine, just think about this example I'm about to give. Imagine a child who is learning how to read French. Or think about it, whenever you were a child, you might have learned some different language than what is your mother tongue. But after a point of time, when you lose touch with it, when you stop practicing it, you forget it, obviously, because it doesn't come naturally to you. You forget it. You forget all about it. So that's the very similar thing with Nine of Cups. You have everything within your fingertips. You have everything on the hold of your hands, but you have just forgotten how to use it. It's like you have the instruction book right within you, but you have sort of thrown it away somewhere and you can't find it anymore. So with the Nine of Cups, I think it is possible right now, or in the past few months, you might have been praying or hoping for miracles. Or I just hope a huge bird comes from somewhere and takes me to where I'm destined to be. And that is defeatist thinking. That is where you are wrong. To be honest, there are no fairy tales in real life. There are no miracles. Yes, there are some, I do believe in coincidences. I do believe in change. But when you think about life as someone coming and saving me, or something coming and saving me, or some force coming and saving me, or some sign coming and saving me, that is wrong. With the Nine of Cups, you are someone who is born by yourself. Think about it. We are all born in the same way, out of the same bodies, the same feminine bodies. We are all born very similar. We all have the same set of, skin and bones, all the things that we are born with are very similar. We come alone, we go alone, we do meet friends, we do meet people. But at the end of the day, the only responsibility you should and you do carry is your own. After a point, you obviously might have lovers, you might have kids, you might have siblings, whatever. But after a point of time, they end up, taking a responsibility for their own self. If you think about it, the only person who you truly have an oath to, or you truly have the power over, is your own self. So with the Nine of Cups, don't wait for signs. Don't wait for miracles. That's not going to happen. The only person who can change your life right now is you. And I think with the Seven of Cups and the Three of Swords and with the Nine of Cups, don't keep on waiting for buses that are never going to come. When I'm saying this line, something will strike to you. You will know what exactly am I talking about. Don't keep on waiting for signs that will never come. Don't keep on waiting for buses that will never arrive. Don't keep on breaking your heart over the same thing over and over again. That's one thing. Let's move on to the next card. Four of Swords. It's very similar to Three of Swords. As you can see, there's a coffin, and it looks like this person is building their own coffin. So what I feel right now with this card is, to be very blunt, like I said, like I told you in the beginning also, I'm going to be blunt. I think there is a tendency of self-destruction within you. Even though with the Nine of Cups, you understand and you realize all the true power you hold, you can't help but waste time with the Four of Swords. You can't help but, I'm sorry, I'm gonna say this, but it looks like of late, the sort of optimism you've always had within you, it's still there. But you can't help but envision or imagine these sort of hypothetical fictional scenarios with the Four of Swords, these deadly scenarios, these death scenes, these coffin scenes that are not true at all. And I think that takes up a lot of energy within you. Just think about it. Like, think about yourself. Like, when you have a negative thought, when you have a negative emotion, it does end up affecting your actions. Like, imagine you wake up one day, in the morning you have some panic attacks or you have some negative thoughts. The rest of the day is going to be very similar. You're gonna be, reflecting the same energy forevermore throughout the day. So it's very similar, I think, right now with the Seven of Cups and Four of Swords. A lot of days, like I said, your energy is divided. You are a house divided. Like, some days you are very optimistic about your life, about what you can do and what you can build. But some days you can't help but picture your own funeral. Some days you can't help but look at yourself dressed in mourning clothes and thinking of how life might turn out to be a sad version of reality. And that, I think, terrifies you. That keeps you up at night. That is like, you are muffling up some thoughts. You're muffling up some emotions. Something within you keeps on making you want to break down. And that, like, this is sad for me when I'm saying this. You can probably understand the change in my tone, because I can empathize with this. Like, I can empathize with you. I can understand how hopeless or terribly misled or misunderstood some days you feel. But with the Nine of Cups, like I said, this is a forest. Life is a dark forest. And in a forest, think about yourself walking in a forest, in a dark wood. You have to be silent and you have to walk by your own. You can't attract attention because you have to avoid predators. You have to avoid, wolves and all of that. So you have your own responsibility with the Nine of Cups. But it just looks like sometimes you end up feeling with the Four of Swords that I am not enough, or I'm not capable to make it out, to make it through. Sometimes I think you're almost on the verge of throwing it all away, throwing all your hard work, all your hard emotions away into a deep void. Next card. This is more intense than what I planned. I'm sorry if it is intense for you, but it is what it is. Justice. This is so poetic. This is so just, actually, this card coming in for you. Because now is the time you have to be just. All these cards, all these energies, all these things that I mentioned, with the justice coming in, as you can see, this black cloaked figure stand with a dagger, with a sword, and with a measuring, balancing scale. So with the justice card, the energy is very simple. You have to measure whatever you do. You have to calculate your life years in advance. In the coming days, in the coming months, you have to calculate, you have to plan, you have to plot. And with the justice card, you have to give only when it is required to give. I think what happens with this card coming in for you is that you are not consistent, you are not steady, you are not stable. Some days you end up doing work worth months. Some days you are so full of spirit that you end up doing a lot of things for yourself. And then some days you are tired in bed all the time, losing all hope for life and future and for love and for business and money and whatever. So with the justice, it's like this inconsistency, this instability within you. It is holding you back. It is causing damage within you. So with the justice card, be slow, be steady, and avoid this erraticness, avoid this up and down energy. Because I feel, like this lack of calculation, this lack of conservation, this lack of temperance keeps you bottled up in a way. So that's one thing with the justice card. The last card for you is Nine of Pentacles. That is a beautiful cycle. We have come all the way from Nine of Cups to Nine of Pentacles. With the Nine of Pentacles, it's one of my favorite cards. Nine of Pentacles. It always talks about, I also touched about this in the Nine of Cups, but Nine of Pentacles is a self-made person. Like this energy with this card, it's always about a person who starts from bottom and ends up at the top, who starts from the bottom of the mountain and ends up, out of all the detours and all the times this person loses their way, they do reach the mountaintop. They do create that satisfaction or that standard that they had hoped for themselves. So with the Nine of Pentacles, the brutal truth for you is that you can do any damn thing that you fucking want to do with yourself, with your life. The Nine of Pentacles energy is very much like a maverick, like a visionary. Like this person with the Nine of Pentacles energy, this person can change the world or turn all tides, stop all storms, change the wind, change the direction of wind, make it rain, stop it rain. They can do anything that they want to. But with this card comes a huge responsibility. Like I've mentioned throughout the readings, if you have to be this person, you have to inhabit this person. If you have to be this person, you have to know that this person is not going to be gifted to you, or this person is not going to be a, like a guru or someone who's going to come out and help you. The magic, the miracle that you're looking for is within you with the Nine of Pentacles. All that you're looking for starts and ends within you. So with the Nine of Pentacles, you have to stop looking for quick fixes. You have to stop looking at life as a cheap pirated movie. If you're looking for shortcuts, or if you're asking for shortcuts, it's just that's not a very good way of going about things. Shortcuts might end up in you leading somewhere good for a short while, but no shortcut will lead you to a long-term run, to a long-term haul. So with the Nine of Pentacles, don't ask for temporary fixes. Don't ask for temporary happiness. Don't ask for life to be easy. And now this is going to be a sad truth, but life is not supposed to be easy. Life is not supposed to be a cakewalk. Like I said in the beginning of the video also, you are a wild creature. So all the strength, all the force, all the resources that you are thinking that I don't have, with the Nine of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups, you have it all within you. You have the whole world etched within you. You have the whole world tattooed within you. I'm so mad looking at all these videos of how much you discount yourself, how low at times you think of yourself. Because it's just that I can see how infuriating things might get for you at times, or how difficult it might be for you to look at life from a better light or from a better perspective, but from whatever cards I've picked up today for you, the biggest truth for you right now is that you have to not you should avoid looking for truth in other people. Your truth is not going to come from a friend, from a family member, from a lover, from a teacher, whatever. Your truth is not going to come from anyone at all. Your truth is going to come from within you. And that's the whole gist of it all. I'm gonna end this by taking out a charm for you. Let's see what you get. Ooh. You get the locket of strength. There is a pentacle, a horned devil on it. So with this charm coming in for you, I think the last message for you, the devil actually in general in tarot is a very ambitious creature. Like we all know about, the devil in the God story. The devil gets a bad name. Obviously, we all think about devil as someone who is wrong, someone who is bad, or someone who is evil. But that's not the whole truth. Devil is called the devil because he had the gut and the courage to go against God. And sometimes that's what you have to do. You have to rebel. You have to turn the tide, and you have to stand up against someone or something that does not reflect your truth at all. So with the devil coming in for you, with the devil charm coming in for you, you have to rebel. There is no such thing as absolute truth. Absolute truth in the sense that there is nothing written in universe. There's nothing written in stone, nothing set in stone. The biggest rule of universe is there are no rules. That's why the universe is constantly expanding, constantly growing, constantly evolving. No rules at all. So with the devil card, don't bow down to someone or something that might traditionally or conveniently be right. With the devil card, you are a rebel, and you have to stand up for your truth, even if your voice shakes, even if you have to face mockery, even if you have to be the devil, at least for the time being. But if you are standing up and voicing for your truth, even if you're called the devil, at least you are your own person. At least you're living your own life. And I think that is the biggest truth of all. Living your own life, living your own destiny. So this was for pile number 1. I really hope it resonated. I know this was intense. Let me know your feedbacks in the comments. I'll be wishing the best for pile number 1, all the people. And I'll meet you in the next video. Hi, now this is for pile number 2. If you chose this is your segment. Like I said in the beginning also, this is an insane, profound message. It is like, the disclaimer here is that it is possible that this video might be challenging to go through. There might be some tough messages, some triggers. You might even break down, you might cry for a little part or for the most part. But the thing is, this message is going to realign you with your truest version, with your truest destiny. This is going to make you, like, there are going to be a lot of subconscious and unconscious transformations that these messages, this video is going to push forward for you. So watch it through the end, watch the whole segment. I know, because I've shot the pile 1 at this time and I am stunned. I even sort of had a breakdown moment, which is visible in the pile number 1. So I know something different is happening in this video, and I know this is going to help you. So watch it till the end, watch it once, watch it twice. Before I start, give this a thumbs up. Let's begin, let's deep down right into it. Towards the end, I'm also gonna do some charm readings. Charm readings, you'll understand what it is in the end. I'm also gonna do that. So let's start with the first card, your first truth. 10 of Wands. A soldier is what you are. I think you have fought a lot of battles, but you have fought these battles alone. I think whatever it is, childhood, adulthood, you definitely had loving people, loving energies with that card, with the 9 of Pentacles, the pile number 2's, character. But I think you can't help but feel completely left alone in the barren cold of the universe. And I'm not saying that you like to be alone, but you can't help but feel that I have been fighting it all on my own for such a long period of time. Because with the Ten of Wands, the first thing that I see is that you're tired of doing it all alone. You're tired of putting up some sort of show that you have been putting up. I think you're tired of putting on a brave face, a brave smile. I think you're tired of saying, it's okay, I'm fine, but not being okay, but not being fine. I think it has been long since when you actually spoke out your truth loud and clear. What is happening in the last few months or the last few years exactly is in your happiness and in your sadness, there is some sort of supplicancy. Supplicancy in the sense is that you end up being burdened by a sense of obligation. Like, I have an obligation to the people in my life, to my family, to my friends, and no one else around me will understand the pressure that I carry. No one else around me will understand the hells that I face or the demons that I carry. And let me tell you, this truth in bold letters right now is that there are people who love you, who cherish you, who think about you when they go to sleep, who think about you when they probably smile or when they look at something that you gave them. So you're not alone in this world. I think that's the biggest lie that something within you, a cruel voice within you has told you that I'm alone. That's not true. There are probably a handful of people who you can count on, who will count for you, who will cheer for you, who will stand up for you. But you have to understand that you are not alone, because I think that happens a lot of times. When you're going through a tough phase, you can't help but feel that I'm alone or I've been left alone like a soldier. But that's not true. That's the first thing that I'm getting. The second card for you is Five of Wands. Interesting. After 10 of Wands, it's the Wands again for you. So I definitely feel with the imagery of the card also, as you can see, there are vultures circling around and something has died. That's why vultures usually are flying around the scenery. Something has died or some bad omen is there. That's usually how vultures are associated. I'm gonna try to make it sound it as simple as I can try to make it sound. But you terrify yourself, or you're terrified of your own self. I think sometimes it is difficult for you to look in your own eyes because you are scared of the person you see in the reflection. Sometimes, not all the time, obviously, but sometimes it's just that with the vultures circling around, the metaphor is very simple for me here. The message is very simple for me here. You are guarding some bad energies, bad omens. I just got a call. So with the Five of Wands, the energy is very simple. You are being unrealistic. You, as you can see with, the sort of conflict that Five of Wands stand for, I think, you have this almost personality of a fantasist. And I always say fantasy is important. It is important to wonder. It is important to fantasize. But it is also important to keep a balance. It's also important to be grounded, to be a realist, which you are not, unfortunately, right now in life. I think there's so much fantasy going on that you have gotten disconnected with the reality or with the part of reality. So with the Five of Wands, this unrealistic, uncharacteristic, or this delusional sort of energy that you are holding within you needs to go. It's always good to be delusional at times, I say. Sometimes you have to just put faith in your impossible dreams. But to reach to those impossible dreams, you also have to have a balanced side within you. You also need to be realistic, which is what a lot of people lack. So with the Five of Wands coming in for you, you have to understand that there are some parts within you, or some scenarios, or some hypotheticals within you that are not part of your destiny, that are not part of your future. And I always say, this is the romance of life. This is the true romance of life. To let it be, to let life take its destiny, to let life take its course, to let life grow eventually, to let God or destiny or universe sort of plan some things for you. Because you cannot ever, like, think about it. Let's say, like, I'm trying to give you an example here, but let's say there is a murderer and this murderer ends up killing someone. So obviously that murderer cannot be a judge in the same crime, because how can a guilty party be a judge, an impartial judge of a crime that they committed? So sometimes what happens is, in life we get partial, we get biased, because we don't have the full picture, we can't see the grand scheme, the bigger scheme of things. And since we don't know the whole picture, we get biased, we tend to cling on to some people or to some situations, thinking, oh, this could be my soulmate, oh, this is a soul situation, oh, this is my true purpose. But that's not the case at times. That's not the case a lot of times, actually. So I'm going to put it out very bluntly for you, but there is something in your life with the Five of Wands that is not serving you. That is tabula rasa. You have to clean slate it. You have to wipe it all off, clean it, and let new plants and new seeds emerge right out of it. Because with the Five of Wands, that's what I feel. You're being unrealistic about something, and you're being like, majority of things last, or majority of things grow into something good because people are realist and there is a sense of groundingness or a sense of reality about them, which you are lacking right now. So now you have to ask yourself and you have to question what that exactly is. The next card for you is Six of Pentacles. Oh, that is interesting, rather. So with the Six of Pentacles, I do feel you are not giving to the one person that who matters the most. I think, like I always say this, I always give this example to all my clients, to my friends or whatever, is that there's always two sides or two faces. Like, there's always a duality in life. Look at, the universe, sun and moon, day and night, winter and summer. It's always duality, male and female. It's like there's things always come in pairs. So similarly, your soul, I always, like, this is more of a philosophical idea I always have, but your soul should usually, also have some sort of duality within. And one part of your soul, I feel, is a void, and the other part of it is a nurturer. And I think right now there is a void within you, a grave, like this hollow within you, a hollow in your chest, and you are trapped in that void. You are trapped. Just think about it. You are in a dark room. There's no light, no one else. How are you going to feel? You're going to feel like after a point of time, I'm going mad. You're going to start seeing things. You're going to start seeing imaginary pictures, ghosts. And it's just that you're going to start losing your sanity in the dark. So the similar thing is happening right now. I'm sorry to say this, but I feel that you are nurturing your void. We all have a void. We all have an echo chamber, a silent voice within us. And with the Six of Pentacles is that you are letting that void grow bigger. That's what happens with age after a point of time. If we are not finding a purpose, or if we are not finding things to grow within the self, this void starts growing. This absence starts taking up space. This absence starts taking up all the presence within you. So with the Six of Pentacles, the truth in the boldest letters is that there is this gap within you that you have to fill. It is possible you have gotten disconnected with the bigger purpose of your life. And when I say purpose, I don't mean what you do as a profession, what you do as, for money, or what you do for, you might be an actor, you might be a writer, you might be a CA, you might be a business analyst, whatever the fuck. I don't care. This is not the point. Your purpose should not be your occupation. Like, people misunderstand it at times. They think that what they do in life, what they do materialistically, is their purpose. That's where the biggest issue arises. That's where the void starts taking over, because their purpose is always something different. Like think about it. We have a soul, we have a body. So what you do in this materialistic world, let's say you're an actor, let's say you're a writer, whatever, you do it for the body, you do it for your mind or your heart or whatever. That's very simple to understand. Maybe you always wanted to be a writer, maybe your heart always wanted you to be an actor. But then there's all like the purpose is something that you do for your soul. And this is also something that I am learning right now. Like, I'm also trying to find my purpose. We all get there slowly, piece by piece. But you have you find it difficult to differentiate between the two, body and soul. And you have gotten so conflicted in your web of thoughts right now, is that you have lost sight of your purpose altogether. So in the coming months, I think you have to find your purpose, because without a purpose you are a nobody. You might be the richest man on earth, you might be the most successful actor on the planet, but if you have no purpose, you have no voice. If you have no purpose, you have no identity. So with the 6 of Pentacles, you have to grow something within you. It's like what's happening right now is that there is an endless summer within you, an endless drought within you. Like, all the plants within you are dying of heat, the scorching heat, and the void is growing and growing. And now you have to reign. You have to find the purpose, and you have to grow something. You have to grow things. You have to grow yourself. You have to cultivate yourself. So you have to find something that is truer to your soul, that can be defined by. So I also have a different video about the soul purpose, about the purpose in your life. You can check out that video. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing. The next card is, ooh, that makes so much sense. Death, number 13, supposedly the unlucky number. But the death usually talks about, as the name suggests, death. I think you are tired of who you have been becoming in the last few months. I think you can also sense it. You can also probably, to give you an example, you can also imagine or envisioning, you might also sort of envision yourself changing colors, changing skins. You might also understand that right now you are in the caterpillar mode and you're about to grow wings, you're about to become a butterfly. But the caterpillar mode is always excruciating. It's always painful. The death card, even though death gives life, because after death, like death and birth, are these are two different. These are two, different things, obviously opposite things, but they are different sides of the same coin. After the death of the night, there's birth of the day, basically. So death and death and life are two very interconnected things. And I think right now, what's happening is you're in the caterpillar mode. Something within you is dying, and the caterpillar mode, like I said, is always painful. It's always excruciating. It's always like, it's possible right now things in your life might be very messy, very dramatic, painful, basically heart-wrenching. You might even think, what bad things or bad karma did I do in my life to go through all of this? But with the death card coming in for you, I think you have to understand that what you're going through right now is leveling the ground. It is leveling everything around you so that you can run smoothly towards where you have to run. Because think about it, if the ground is uneven, you will fall, you will stumble, the path is not going to be smooth. But what the death card does, or what the death cycle does for your life, is it evens everything. It makes you more human, it makes you more mature, it makes you more experienced. And once the energy is leveled, once the playground is leveled, you can run smoothly to where you want to run to. So with the death card, I think be open to death right now. When I say death, I'm not saying be open to dying, obviously. I think you have to kill something. You have to destroy something. That could be the void that we talked about. You have to destroy it altogether. But it can also talk about a relationship. It can also talk about a friendship or a situation in your life that is slowly killing you. Like, think about it like termite, the termite infestation in wood. They end up destroying furniture slowly, piece by piece. That is the biggest destruction. After a termite infestation, it is impossible to rejuvenate or redeem something. Like the furniture is gone forever. Similarly, with the death card, if you are not understanding what is infesting you, or what is a parasite in your life, it it ends up hollowing you. It ends up creating the shallow within you, and then you end up losing a chunk within you that you will mourn for the rest of your life, that you will regret for the rest of your life, that I wish I hadn't done it. I wish I hadn't been this person. So with the death card, I think you have to be brutal. You have to be, with the death card, the only thing is either you take care of it or it will cause destruction for you. Whatever the situation is, it will cause some more pain for you. So even though it is possible with the death card, saying goodbye to this thing or this situation could be sad, could be painful, but if you're making this choice on your own, you're also making a choice to grow as a person. So don't with the death card, don't shy away from pain. Don't shy away from confrontation right now. Don't shy away from death, basically. If you are, because I think that's what's happening with this card, you are completely shunned off, or you're shutting away change. And change is the biggest constant. Like, look around you, all the weathers change, the skies change, the sun changes, the moon changes its shape, its size, all of it. So what I think the biggest thing that you have to work on right now is, why are you so shut off to change? Why are you so unsure or not ready for things to look a different way? Because that's the thing. If you want to plan your life a certain way, after a point of time, you end up getting completely rigid. You end up, it's like your vision is blurred and you can't look at anything else that is planned for you or anything else that is coming for you. So that rigidity actually ends up killing a lot of growth for your own self. So with the death card, you have to understand that change is important and you have to be open to life the way it unfolds. You cannot plan your life completely. A lot of your circumstances, a lot of your situations are just completely out of your hand. But this, I think you have to understand and ask yourself this question: why am I so scared of change? Why am I so stubborn to change? Why am I so unaccepting to change? I think it has something to do with the Ten of Wands, the card that we firstly touched on. I think you are scared, like, even because you always have felt that I have had this terrible responsibility of being alone. And since you have gotten this comfort zone right now of yourself, you're scared of being alone again. You're scared of starting from scratch again. You're scared of taking the first step again. But the first step will lead you to the last step. The first stage will lead you to the final stage. So with the Death and the Ten of Wands, you have to understand that it is essentially absolutely crucial for you to start from the scratch right now, to be open to life the way it unfolds. Let life be explosive. Let life be chaotic. Let life be destructive. For hell, I'm gonna say. Let life be painful. Like I always say, people who are always like, why are things so difficult for us? Or why are things always sad for us? That's a wrong way of looking at things. You're only wanting life to be a certain way. You're only wanting things to be convenient for you because you think that's how it should always be. But that's not the case. With the Death and the Ten of Wands, sometimes there is convenience in inconvenience. Sometimes there is reason in no reason. So you think about it again. Maybe, and rewind this. Like, this was an intense thing I just said. There is a reason in no reason at times. So just keep these few things in mind. You have to change something. Next card for you is Five of Pentacles. Okay, I'm gonna say this as lightly as I can, but you are not being punished. As you can see, this person is sort of, this is a very medieval way of punishment, like a very slow sort of torture. Some in the medieval ages, in the kings and queens era, like traitors and enemies would be crucified on the cross, and they would be left there for days until they slowly die. Until they slowly, obviously, like the vultures come and eat mice and whatever. It's a very slow form of death, a very sad sort of torture that used to exist. So the first thing you have to understand is you have to avoid this. I feel you might also be having this inner tendency or this inner urge, this inner thought process within you that am I slowly dying? Is the light within you, is the light within me slowly going away? Is the fire within me slowly dying? Is the passion within me slowly evaporating? Am I going through the most cruel form of death there ever is? Because I can see piece by piece within, I can see a piece, like I can see myself dying piece by piece. I can see myself, I can see us like my soul and my body taken out of me moment by moment. That's a torture. That's a torturous form of death. And that's not true. You're not being punished. You're not on the cross. You're not being harmed or you're not being killed for something bad that you did. With the Five of Pentacles, it is very important. Like that's the sort of unawareness this card comes up with. Sometimes sadness has this tendency. It hypnotizes. Sadness, I always associated, like in general also, sadness is associated with black color. And why exactly is it associated with black color? Is because black with any color in general, black with any color is going, like that's color theory. Black with any color is going to be black. Black is the sum total of all colors. Black is the most powerful color. So sadness, similarly, is the most powerful emotion. The most powerful emotion to ever exist. And sometimes when you are so saddened by what is happening around you, that sadness slowly starts taking over all your other emotions. Hope, happiness, love, care, all the happy emotions, all the good emotions, imagination, fantasy, wonder. Sadness slowly, because sadness is the black color. And all these emotions, maybe think of them as different colors. Like hope, usually we associate hope with yellow, sun. But black and yellow, what does black and yellow make? Black, because that's how it is. So you have to understand that sometimes sadness might blind you. Sadness might make you think this is how it is always going to be. That's why it's a circle. It's a toxic sort of abuse because it overshadows all emotions. It overshadows all hope, all goodness in life until you feel like you are being torn apart, picked apart by vultures till there's no life left within you. But you have to understand with this card, this is just something temporary. Whatever you're going through, it's not going to last. It's not going to persist. What you're going through right now, or what you're going through from within, is that it's the sadness taking over all the other emotions, and you have to let go of it. With the death, you have to make peace with something. You have to make peace with some emotion that you're so scared to make peace with. Peace is the only option here. Peace is the only offering. Sometimes in life, it is important to just make peace with it all, to just make peace with your fortune, with your destiny, and let it be. But what's happening right now is that you can't help but think of yourself as a prisoner, as a victim, as someone who is being killed and someone who is being tortured, and that is simply not true. So this card is reminding you, it is possible things might seem torturous. It is possible things might seem bleak. It might seem like you are dying. It might seem like a part of you is giving up. But that is just the sadness taking over. And with you finding your passion, like I said before, with you finding your purpose, with you working on all these things, this will slowly go away. You will feel like you're living again. The slow death will cease to exist. So just keep that in mind. This is not your reality. You are not being punished. Last card for you is King of Swords. Interesting. So the first thing that you have to understand, you can see a king here. But in the king's shadow, you can see a devil-like creature. Something that is shadowing this person. Some sort of bad omen that is being presented. So with the King of Swords, firstly, this is a good sign. I think this card always talks about, in general, what you want to be and what you want to become will happen for you with this card. But it will only happen if you create it on your own. With the King of Swords, as you can see from this energy, the energy of the card also, you don't become a king overnight. You don't become a king by some miracle or by some fortune. If a king is a good king And if a kingdom is something that lasts forever, it comes with blood, sweat, and tears. It comes with patience, dedications. It comes with breakdowns, breakthroughs. Some days you give up, some days you cry, some days you laugh, some days you feel like, oh, this is also fucked up. And some days you feel like, oh, my life is good. So the King of Swords is not an easy person. He has seen a terrible past. But you can see the ghost here. So this ghost is all the terrible experience, because I feel that with the Five of Pentacles, you have constantly had terrible experiences. It is possible there might be a lack of love in your life, fathers or mothers. I'm not saying, I mean, what I'm trying to say here is that there is some absence of love. Absence of love in the sense is that you might have constantly felt like an unloved creature or an unloved person, and that ghost still haunts you. What if I always stay and remain unloved? What if this absence engulfs me forever? So with the King of Swords, this person understands his past. This person has made peace with its past. That's why he's behind. The ghost is behind and he has moved on. So you have to make peace with some energy. Some person in your life could be a father, mother, sibling, even a lover, a romantic person. But someone who made you feel like a crumbled piece of paper. Someone who made you feel like you don't deserve to be loved. Someone who made you feel so terrible about yourself that you probably stopped loving yourself for a while. And this ghost is haunting you right now. This ghost is ghosting you right now. This ghost is chasing you wherever you go. That's the thing about ghosts, you know? Ghosts are like spirits. Think about it. Like, that's the thing why they're so scary. Like, why they're so scary. They can appear out of nowhere. This energy or this person or this thought can appear out of nowhere. You might be doing fine, you might be doing all right, and the next moment this person comes back. This lack of love comes back. What if I stay the same forever? But with the King of Swords, you have to understand that you will have love, you will have a home, and you will have a shoulder to cry upon. With the King of Swords, you will have a family, a soul family, a spiritual family, a family in the materialistic sense, people who will love you. You will find love. And this ghost does not define you. This devil does not define you. So you have to understand with the King of Swords is that you will reach there. So that is what I'm seeing on the cards. I'm gonna take out one charm for you and try to sum up the reading. This is what your angels are wanting to tell you. A snake, which makes sense, which I just gave you the Death card. Death is basically the snake shedding its own skin. So with the snake coming in for you, you might have all heard about Ouroboros, a snake eating its own tail. Like, every beginning is an ending and every ending is a beginning. So even though there are some endings in your life right now, with the snake coming in, there are some new beginnings. The snake is slithering, twisted. A snake is a twisted creature. But even though it is twisted, it finds a way out anywhere it goes. So things might be twisted right now, like with the snake being here for you. But even though they are twisted, they're leading you someplace good. So let them slither, let them unfold like a snake. That's what the message is for you. So I know this was intense. Drop a few hearts to claim this energy. I can feel that, I myself am so down. After reading this, I feel so tired because I channeled so much. I hope you manifest whatever you want to. I really hope this video helped you. I'll be wishing you the best. Please let me know in the comments how you resonated with this. This is an insane channeled message, and I know this is going to help you. I'll meet you in the next video, but I will definitely recommend watch this video twice or thrice. Bye. Hi, now this is for pile number 3. If you chose this is your segment. Like I said in the beginning also, this is going to be very profound, this whole message. It's going to be challenging. This is the disclaimer. Some parts are going to be triggering, testing. You might even end up breaking down or crying over a few things that are on my channel today, because this message is going to trigger a lot of subconscious and unconscious transformations towards your growth. So it is important for me to tell you your truth the way it is. It's almost like universe talking to you, universe telling you sweetly, also bitterly, This is what you're doing. This is what's wrong. This is what's right. So it might seem critical at times, but I'm not criticizing you. I'm just trying to tell you what's right and what's wrong for you right now. So to claim the energies, drop a few 333s. Before I start the video, just drop a like to claim this video. Subscribe to my channel. I post insane data videos. So let's start. In the end, I'm also going to do a charm reading tonight. In the end, charm reading is a different sort of divination, so you're also going to get a special message from your angels. So let's start for your first card right away. The Devil. The energy is insane. Number 15, the Devil. Okay, let's start. I'm gonna try to make it sound as simple as I can, but I feel that you fantasize your destruction. I think it is so simple and so easy for you to think about your own downfall, to plan and to plot and to scheme your own downfall. It's so ridiculously easy for you to actually think about your own downfall and your own, like your own destruction, that it's almost like a joke at this point. Like, I feel, even though as a person you are hopelessly optimistic, but with that hopeless optimistic tendency within you also comes this dualistic devilish sort of side within you, where you can't help but think of chaos. I think you are a chaotic creature. The Devil is an example. The first card that comes for you is the Devil. This Machiavellian, this creature who's grinning, who's giving you his hand, very handsome. The Devil is always a very mythically polarizing creature. He lures you in with his body and his smile and his charm, and then you're fallen in his trap. So I feel that it is very simple, very easy, very natural for you to think of your destruction, but not very natural for you to think of all the good things that you can do in life. I think more often than usual, even at the slightest drop of inconvenience, you end up thinking of destruction. Like, even if one thing goes wrong, you somehow end up thinking how all the other things can go wrong, which I think creates a lot of inconsistency within you. Because even though you are hopelessly optimistic, this side within you, this unbalanced, imbalanced, impulsive side within you, this chaotic, this born in thunder, chasing chaos side within you, it does end up damaging a lot of growth that you create along the way. Because I think you have grown beautifully as a person with the Five of Cups. If you chose this pile, I think you have lost a lot in life, and you might not be willing to admit it, but you do feel sad about a few things that you lost. But even after you lost those things, you have grown. You have somehow, turned those miseries into fortune. You have always kept a smile on your face, even when you were facing your darkest dangers, your darkest demons. So I think you have grown beautifully as a person. But with the Devil, I think this loss and this constant up and down energy that you went through in your life has created this paranoia, or this version within you. Think of it as a voodoo doll. Think of it as a small version of you, miniature version of you within you, who is so paranoid about anything and everything that it ends up showing you visions of your own destruction every time you get sad. It's like every time you think of one sad thing, multiple sad pictures crop up. I think it's also possible people who chose this pile number 3, what you have been doing off late, or what you have been thinking of off late, is how you're thinking of people around you getting settled, happy, fortunate, and just very abundant in life, and how after all those years when they get settled, you might somehow still be unsettled, uncertain, unsure, lost. I think that might be your biggest fear of all time, that everyone else around you, your friends, your family, and whatever it is, they might grow up, they might find people, they might somehow become abundant, but I might be the one who is lost and loner and loveless and left alone in this bloodless world to fend for myself. Which with the Devil, you have to understand, it's just it's just a fragment of your fear. It always happens once you go through trauma, because I think you have gone through trauma with the 5 of Cups, significant trauma, some sort of, it could be anything. Maybe you were hazed or bullied, or you know unloved or unprotected or uncared for, but you have gone through some significant trauma in your life. So trauma always leaves shadows. Like, that wound obviously heals. Think about it, when you cut yourself, your hands or your legs, very deeply, even though the wound heals, it leaves a mark, and that mark is usually visible for the rest of your life. Similar thing happens with trauma. You might heal with it, the trauma might be gone after a point of time, but that shadow is always left. And it is in your own hands to understand that the shadow is never the real person. We all have shadows. Think about it, you walking in the darkness of night, you have a shadow, but that shadow is not the real you. You are the real you. So whatever hypotheticals or imaginative scenarios you're having in your head about how you are unsettled and you're gonna be unsettled for the rest of your life are blatantly false. Stop torturing yourself. Stop saddening yourself. Stop making yourself feel miserable about something that will never happen. That's the first card for you. Oh, it's intense. The energy in this video is intense. Next card is Page of Swords. So I feel, as a person, you are, with the Page of Swords, is one of the most talented individuals in the whole deck. Page of Swords as a person, as an energy, is someone who can do a lot even without trying. You are so effortless in your excellence. Even when you are trying, you're not trying hard enough. It's like you don't even have to try to look for attention. The spotlight always comes for you. So with the Page of Swords, you're very effortless in your excellence. But the biggest thing you lack right now in your life is you have ideas, you have ideation, but will or action is not there. I think what you're looking for, and you're getting very obsessive about it, is the outcome of it all. And I can relate to this at times, because like, you set a goal for yourself and all you think about it is the outcome. Like, when is it gonna give me the fruit? When is it gonna give me? And that's a very natural thing to do. That's a very human thing to do, to always think about the good times. But once you start fantasizing or constantly obsessing about when is it gonna happen, like, you're just thinking about reaching on the top, but you've only begun, you've only taken the first step, that will end up in you losing your way. Because after a point of time, it is possible you might think, oh, it is too far away. Oh, I'm still here, but I want to be there. Like, you are obsessing about that vision all the time and you're not there. So obviously you get sad about it. You see other people who have reached there and you be like, it's a very human thing to start comparing and to start be like, oh, I'm never going to be there. So it's very important right now in your life to just do things, to actually take actions without expecting any reciprocation. Don't expect any fortune. It might sound ridiculous, it might even sound a little bit absurd, but don't expect abundance. Abundance always comes to those who don't expect it, who don't crave for it. I think that's why abundance is the biggest peace, the biggest zen of it all, because you have made peace with everything. So if you are constantly complaining, constantly conspiring, constantly obsessing about it, it's not peace, it's not zen. So how will you get there? How will you reach there? So you have, with the Page of Swords, all the world and all the ideas. I think you have a tremendous mind, terrific personality. I think you can light up any single room you walk into. The words, the sort of worldview you have, the sort of charisma you have, is so brilliant that it is almost a crime that you're keeping it hidden within you. I'm so mad at you when I'm speaking this. It's almost like the universe is mad at you, that what a foolish person, having so much brilliance in the tip of their hands, but it's like you're always waiting for the perfect moment or the right moment, when I will reach the right time, when I will reach the right audience, or when it will be the right perfect opportunity. There's no perfect opportunities in life. Haven't you yet understood that the only thing that exists in nature is imperfection? Nothing in life is perfect. Nothing in life is born to be perfect. That is not possible. Think about it. Like plants never grow in straight lines. It's us, human nature too. If you've been in gardens, it's through constant gardening we make them grow in straight lines. But nature hates perfection. Nature always grows in zigzag patterns. So with those page of swords, you have to understand that you have to just do it. Do the things and expect nothing in return. That's what you have to do. I'll say it again, it's a crime to keep yourself stored. You're an expensive wine. An expensive wine is meant to be cherished and experienced. It's not meant to be kept locked forever. Don't do that. Don't lock yourself in a deep corner. You do not deserve that. Next card for you is Six of Wands, which is very much, I think, in continuation of Page of Swords. As you can see, there's a victory wreath, and this woman is sort of celebrating something. It almost looks like she is, at a concert, and she's a pop star or a singer, and everyone is cheering for her. It almost gives me that image, that vision. So with the Devil and Six of Wands, I understand you crave. I'm gonna make it sound as normal, but I think you crave to be popular. You crave to be seen. You crave to be applauded. You crave to be clapped for. Because I think in life, the one thing that you have lacked forevermore is people clapping for you. People clapping for you in the sense is like people telling you how good you are. Or people not finding, like whatever it is, family members, friends, family. Somehow people have never been able to express the brilliance that you hold within you. And that has made you so intrinsically insecure that you end up wanting to find some sort of light or understanding or, some sort of, like, that's the reason why I think you crave that popularity or you crave that fame. Like, because if I'm seen there, if I'm on the stage, I'm going to be loved. So firstly, with the Six of Wands, like, there are two things with this card. I think you have all the potential. I think if you play your cards right, you can be that person. You can definitely reach on the world stage. You can definitely reach to that spotlight that you crave for. But you have to understand, having everything is a key to nothing. You might still reach this stage and might still be the most insecure person to ever exist. So you have to understand that you cannot crave for approval from strangers or from people who are probably just passing fancies, because that's what you do at times. You crave for approval, and you might lie right now to yourself that I don't, but you do. You do crave for approval. You do crave to be seen, and sometimes you almost have this ridiculous urge to be perfect, to be this perfect little doll who is always right. But you're not right. You do not have to be right. Sometimes you have to be wrong in life. Sometimes you have to have flaws in life. Imperfection is perfection at the end of the day. Like I said, nature hates perfection. Nature is imperfect. So with the Six of Wands, you have to understand that the approval and the attention that you're seeking for from other people will never give you anything. It will never be the true manifestation of love. Now that could be anything. You could be craving it from your partners, soulmates, friends, family, whatever. But that will never be a true version of love. That is only going to be a very good copy of love. Like, think about it. The pristine, the solid, the first version of something is always pure. It's always the, like, think of a masterpiece, something Vincent Van Gogh probably painted. What he painted is the true nature of it, the truest, the most original thing ever. But now someone copied it. It obviously loses its charm. So that's what you have to understand. You cannot seek for that approval or that love from other people. It might feel like true love, but after a point of time, you will understand that it's not the true love or the true approval that I was looking for. The approval, the clapping, the applauding, the Six of Wands energy is going to come from within. So that was for the third card. Fourth card is Hermit. I think the Hermit, as you can see, it's a beautiful card. It looks like a divine being, and he's in mountains, and somehow he is levitating above in the ground. So enlightened, so divine that he's just levitating. Somehow he's like a true divine energy. And that's what the Hermit in Tarot actually is. A very divine person, someone who is enlightened spiritually. With the Hermit card coming in for you, the first thing that you have to understand is I think you have lost your spiritual truth with the Hermit card coming in for you. Whatever you are doing, you might even be doing the right things right now. You might even be on the right path at the moment, but you have sort of lost, or you are sort of lacking some sort of spiritual truth in your life, which might constantly make you feel like no matter what I do, it's never enough. Because the thing is, if you don't have a spiritual connection with whatever you are doing, you will constantly feel unhappy, unfulfilled, unsatisfied. So, with the Hermit, it is important and it's almost absolutely crucial for you to understand the bigger spiritual truth that you have in your life in terms of your relationship or career or whatever. That is one thing. With the Hermit, the other thing is, I think you will struggle with loneliness in your life, and I'm gonna make it sound as simple as I can, but I think even though you love attention, like I said, you love to be with people, you love to love, but after a point of time, I think what happens is you end up withdrawing, or you end up feeling that I will never get the same energy or the truest form of love from the people that I seek it from. And then you end up retreating in your cave. So with the Hermit, you have to, like, that's the biggest lesson in your life, that you will struggle with loneliness. You will have a pattern of falling into loneliness at times. You might become a ghost in your friends' lives, in your lover's life. At times, it might even become very difficult for you to be open with even your closest people. Like, people around you might just be there, like furniture, but you keep all secrets lied and buried within you, because you feel like, I think that's the biggest that's the biggest voice that you have within you, that no one around me will understand me, or no one around me will accept my truth, or no one around me will stick. If I be the truest version of myself, they will not stay, so it's just better to be in my own self, to be like an onion, layered in my own hermit zone, in my own loneliness, so that I don't end up losing people, so that I don't end up having that pain of heartbreak. So the thing is, that's what the loneliness is going to do to you. You're going to constantly feel like there are going like no one in the world is ever going to accept the true version of me, so it is better to be in my own zone. And then you're going to crave, like, because since you're not someone who is supposed to be lonely, you're going to crave for something, but you're just going to keep yourself stuck. So you have to understand with the Hermit that you will find someone like you, people like you, who will understand you in the truest sense, who will understand the true spirit of you. And you have to wait for such people. And when you find such people, you have to be truthful to them. You cannot keep yourself bottled. You cannot keep yourself like a cave. At the end of the day, it's just that there are so many emotions, so many epiphanies, so many elegies within you, poems within you trying to come out, emotions within you trying to come out, but you're not getting the right shoulders or the right face or the right hands to give it to. And that's the thing. You have to choose people carefully. You cannot be around monsters and vultures and expect to be loved and expect to be seen and expect to be heard. Vultures will not see you. Vultures will not love you. They will take out scraps from you. They will scratch you and they will only shallow you. So you cannot give your energy to vultures. Choose people carefully. That's one thing, because I think you're terrible at that. I'm sorry to be blunt, but you're terrible at choosing people, and change that. Four of Cups, which I think something I also sort of touched upon in the previous cards when I was talking about. I think, as you can see, this woman, she looks miserable. It almost looks like, there is a beautiful scenery around her, colors and trees and skies and these beautiful potteries, but she is so much lost in her own head, in her own thought, in her own mind, that she cannot see the abundance around her. Like I said before, abundance is not riches, abundance is not money, because she has everything on paper. She has a beautiful house probably to live in, beautiful potteries. This card usually just talks about that. The potteries here talk about, riches and luxury and all of that. And she has a beautiful place to live in. Like, there are skies and there are colors and there's ouroboros and is basically it's so pretty where she lives. But the thing is, even after having all of that, she does not have abundance. She does not have that peace of mind. So you have to understand, I think you have a very terrible understanding of being happy. Once I will receive money, or once I'll become rich, I'll be happy. Once I'll receive a lover, I'll be happy. No. A lover, a house, money, pearls, diamonds, rings will never make you happy. Happiness will come from within. So I think your concept of happiness is materialistic at times. And why is it materialistic? It's materialistic because happiness is not something natural to you. I think you will struggle with happiness in your life in a way. Like, I'm not saying you will not receive it, but I think since you haven't received it in the early stages of your life, I think you haven't seen happiness in its truest sense. Now it's not natural to you. Even when you receive happiness, I think you question it, you doubt it, you think it's not gonna last. So with the Four of Cups, you have to understand having everything is gonna give you nothing. You might think and you might sort of fantasize about it, like maybe one day I'll get a lover and a good house and money and all of that, I'll be happy. That's bullshit. You're not gonna be happy until you find happiness within, in your mind. So work on that. And this card also talks about this thing I touched upon, is constantly thinking that you are the only one who's gonna be left alone in the world. I think you think of that at times, that everyone else in my life, everyone else around me will move on. They will receive whatever they have to receive, and I will be the negative Nancy, the miserable Mary, who's not ever moving on, always stuck, frozen in time. That is just in your head. That's why she's so sad, because it's just a figment of her imagination. So don't think like that. You're not gonna be stuck forever. You're not gonna be alone forever. And people around you are not gonna get settled, and you are not gonna be left alone. Basically, you are not stranded in life. You have to understand. And why am I repeating it? So that you affirm it again and again. Once you listen to these things multiple times, I hope they make a home within you. Like how these negative thoughts and fears have made a home within you. When I say all these things again and again, these words and these words of affirmation again and again, it's so that they make a home in you, like these fears. And so every time when you're sad or you are lost or you're hopeless, these words of mine come back to you. That's why I do it again and again. You might think sometimes, why does he repeat things? That is the reason why I repeat things in my videos. 10 of Pentacles is the last card, which I think makes sense after the Four of Cups. That's what I was literally touching on. As you can see, there's this beautiful rangoli sort of thing, not rangoli, but it just looks like there are flowers and abundance, and there's these chandeliers and decoration, and there's a family dog. It's basically the idea of abundance. There's happiness, there's home, everything has been formed. So with the 10 of Pentacles, you have to understand that you are capable of abundance. You're capable of happiness, because it is difficult for you sometimes to believe that. Sometimes you feel that I'm such an unfortunate creature. I am the most unlucky one in the world. I am always going to be unlucky. I'm always going to be unkept, unprotected, unloved, unlooked, always ignored. That's not the case. With the 10 of Pentacles, the 4 of Cups, you have to understand that's not your reality. That's not the truth. It's just a fear. So with the 10 of Pentacles, you will reach that status. You will get there, and you will find what you're looking for. All the things that you're crying over, all the things you're breaking down over will make sense in the end. If you're not happy, it's not the ending. Basically, that's sort of a thing. So life has not ended right now for you. You haven't yet seen the ending. You haven't yet reached the ending. So try to understand that. If you're not happy right now, it's definitely not the fucking ending. You will get there. So I'm going to take out one charm for you. A message from the angels. Let's see what it is. The snake has come out for you. I want to take out one more. And the toad. And something hidden. So this, I usually associate this charm with something hidden, some hidden information. So something hidden is coming your way. I think that's what the universe wants you to know. And with the snake that came along with it, I think your hidden version, with the Page of Swords, that's also what I think mentioned before. I think the hidden brilliance within you, with the snake, beautiful crystal snake, as you can see. The snake always sheds. A snake always, relives and rekindles and re-embarks and all of that. And with the hidden, I think, note, I think that's what I'm getting from all the energies here. that the hidden brilliance, the hidden potential within you is now coming to light. It's now shining. It's now dying to be seen. So don't hide it. You don't need to be hide. You don't need to be ashamed. You don't need to be guilty of something that is so natural. So don't hide yourself in shame. Don't hide yourself in regret. You are born this way. Oh, I think I just said a Lady Gaga song. It's born this way. Don't hide yourself in shame. Don't hide yourself in regret. Baby, you're born this way. You are born the way you are, and think of yourself, whatever person you are, and whatever flaws and imperfections, whatever good things, whatever strengths, whatever weaknesses you have, it is for the best. Sometimes people never understand weaknesses. Having some weaknesses are strengths in themselves, because if you have some negative points, that is probably something that will help you receive something in your life. So some weaknesses are important, some imperfections are important, some flaws are important, because they make you who you are. So you're born the way you are born. Don't question who you are. Don't question your existence. You're born to be the way you are. So be confident and step in your true power, and show yourself to the world. Show who you are, the true you, and people will love you and people will receive you. So that's it for pile number 3. Let me know your feedbacks in the comments. It was a crazy message. I'm feeling so down after this. Down in the sense because I spoke so much. I channeled so much energy. So let me know your feedbacks. Drop a like. Drop a comment. I'll meet you in the next video. Ta-da.